Do you want to be wealthy? Do you want to be in control of your finances? Do you feel like you mostly get financial advice from people who are trying to sell you a bank's product? If your answer is yes to any of these questions, then stay tuned because you're at the right place. Welcome to Money Convos, a club committed to helping people achieve financial freedom by providing education and guidance on personal finance and investments. We have a group of experts who share their knowledge and give practical advice with no strings attached. At Money Convos, we have candid, mature conversations about wealth, how to create it, grow it, and protect it. We share experiences and encourage our audience to share theirs and ask questions. Join us on Thursdays on Clubhouse at 7 p.m. GMT. That's Accra time. We also have book discussions that bring out practical lessons. So far, we have read Something Smart People Do With Their Money, The Richest Man in Babylon, and The Millionaire Next Door. Most importantly, we have one-on-one financial coaching sessions where we guide individuals through setting financial goals, retirement planning, budgeting, investments, risk management, and so many more areas. The goal is to get you towards financial freedom from whatever income level you are at right now. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Clubhouse at moneyconvosgh, or send us an email at moneyconvosgh@gmail.com so we get you started on your journey to financial freedom. Now that you are all caught up, let's head into our next conversation. Yeah, today's a recorded session, and we are intending to have these recordings on YouTube and on our podcast. We're working on that, so please be minded, especially if you're a speaker, that this will be recorded per Clubhouse rules. I have to notify you, and you can see it in the title. I hope this recording comes out well, and it's come out from a lot of demand from audience that we say a lot of good things, we drop a lot of gems, we share a lot of stories, and we are not recording them, so people can't come back to hear about them. So I hope this is the beginning of something we can sustain, so that people can always refer to these conversations to get inspiration. We really want to help people with their agenda towards financial health. So yes, that's an introduction to the concept of recording. It's nice to see Danielle here, Mimi here, and David Papano is with us. So Mimi, would you like to continue from this point? Hi Mimi, if you are speaking, you are muted, so you can unmute and let's hear you. Okay, while we wait on Mimi, David, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Elikem?
I'm okay. Just had
Danielle. It's been a while though, girlfriend. How are you?
Okay.
Hi. I am okay. Work schedules and other things have kind of taken my time.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Elikem, I was still listening to you. Please, go ahead. I didn't boycott you because Danielle is female.
Oh no, that was even. I think you said something. You said something else. I was like, you know, normal.
No. I was just saying hi to Danielle real quick.
Yeah.
But please.
Yeah. I was just saying I'm okay. You know, just a few bumps here and there, but I'm okay. Okay. Mimi,
have you been hearing from Jennifer? Is she okay?
Doing better. I think I spoke to her 2 days ago. A little better. I'll check up on her again tomorrow. Talking is a bit difficult for her, so I don't want to stress her too much.
She's a bit better. She texted me this afternoon. Well, at least she responded to my text from yesterday and 2 days ago. So
awesome.
It's better.
Wonderful. Hi, Mimi. How are you doing?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Elikem. Hi, David. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Douglas, Alberta, Esther, Frankie.
No be small roll call you they do.
I'm wearing my teaching cap. Yeah, hi, everyone. So should I start?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. So as we all know, every life stage has its own challenges. And these challenges are common within a certain age group. Today, we just want to focus on conquering the challenges of your 20s. And so we'll just start with a question to the speakers up here on stage. I'm sure, Elikem, you've already done the introduction for the day, right?
Not for the topic. Just
Not for the topic.
Yes,
Okay,
just introduce the
sure.
fact that we are recording. But yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so basically, as I said, we are talking about your 20s and challenges you face on your wealth creation journey. And we just want to start by asking, do you think people in their 20s actually face challenges on their wealth creation journey? Because some will think you are 20, what problems do you have? So do you think people who are 20 face challenges? Elikem, what's your take on this?
This is more like a hell yeah. Like, have you been 20 before? It's yes. I think there are lots of challenges. And we'll get into the details of them. But I believe your 20s are when you are ushered into adulthood. So it's a whole new world, and it just comes up with things that you didn't know. So many mistakes to be made. So yeah, I believe that there have been a lot, and I have gone through quite a number of them and seen my friends go through even more. So yeah.
Sure, great. Danielle.
Hello.
Hi.
You said, do we go through challenges in our 20s? That was the question?
Yes, when it comes to wealth creation, you think
Oh,
you
yeah.
face challenges?
Well, sure. I guess a big one is just depending on where you live, like how much you make, how much you're able to save and invest. Probably if you move around, things will change, you have to adjust. So yeah, I think 20s are a tough time because you're still trying to figure out one, who you are, what you want to do, and then how you will go about it. And I think that's even more general, more so than like finances. So yes, 20s are a tough time. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Danielle. Papa no David, what's your take on this?
Yes. I think they do. I'm sure we're going to get into details, but I think, like Danielle was saying, Ella Kemp too said a little bit of that. When you're 20, you're just now getting out of, or for most people, especially in Ghana, I think, you're still in that part of your life where mom and dad are still paying for everything. So you haven't really hit, oh, I gotta pay this bill myself yet. It's, the responsibility hasn't really hit you yet. Or as you progress within your 20s, that's when it's starting to hit you, and then you start to realize, oh, okay, if you live outside Ghana, mostly you got to get out the house, you got to have your own apartment, you got to have your own this and that. And then now it starts to hit you that, hey, life is not all about living, YOLOing all day, every day. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, David. For me personally, yeah, I do think that 20s can be very challenging. I mean, sometimes even looking for a job or getting income during that time is quite tough. I remember being at home for a whole year, very stressful moments in my life. And then when I eventually got a job, the income wasn't anything interesting. And so you realize that in your 20s too, you're likely to probably get a job you don't like and probably be earning something that is not too pleasing to the eye. So, and then it's also in your 20s, as has already been said, you're still figuring yourself out. And so setting goals, and I feel it's a bit difficult because I had no idea where I was going when I was 20. So I'm just wondering how I would have been able to set some, serious financial goals. So I think all these things, and plus, unfortunately, if you grow up in a family that is dependent on their kids, that means that even with your meager salary you have to add them to your plans, which can be very challenging. So definitely, I think 20s can be quite challenging. My next question to the speakers is just a minute. What are some of we said okay, it's challenging, okay, but what are some of the challenges that this age group faces? Elikem, Daniel, I think you are both in your 20s, right? You are ending it. What are some of the challenges you face and you're still facing?
Okay, I have a long list. Where do I start from? Let me just do two, and we'll circle back if there's more time. I can give the rest. And it's really a first one really is family pressure. You hit on one of them. When you come out, it depends on the kind of family you are from. If you come out, if you have a family where things have been rough, they've found a way to get you through university, or you didn't go to university, diploma, or some kind of high school or something, and there's pressure to get a job. Then you get a job, and most of your money will be spent paying for your younger siblings. This person's school fees, this person's housekeeping money, this, that, like there's this bill at home, there's a lot of expenditure. I know I have some friends who've been through that, and it was a big deal. For me, in my experience, it wasn't even a challenge. It was more like, oh, you start working after national service. My mom was like, oh, pay a utility bill, something just like a token. So for me, I got that free. So that wasn't a concern for me. But I saw some of my peers getting bogged down, and I still see people in their 20s getting bogged down with that, the pressure from family. And some of these things are hard to avoid, but some of them too, you can see that really someone went to take a decision on their own, and you have to pay for it just because you are the one with the job. And I feel like it's a tough one. When we get to the point where we talk about how to get out of these things, we could address those challenges. But yeah, some of these pressures are real. Another is also related to family, but it's more about the control that some families have over, than parents have over their families. In Ghana, in Ghana, a lot of people have a sense of family where you don't just leave home, you still have to stay under your parents' roof. David was saying a few moments ago that if you were in the US, you'd be thinking about moving out. No, in Ghana, especially if you're a lady, chances are you're going to be there till you get married, So in that case, you have your family exerting a lot of control over you. And if depending on the kind of industry you are in, if you want to work very hard, then you'll be working long hours. And if you live far away, or even if you live in town, some parents want their children to be home by a certain time. Will lock the gate, they'll put pressure on you. Where are you? You can't go and socialize, you can't go and mingle, you can't do anything. And these are things that, yes, they are not, it means like it's not taking money out of your pocket, but it is going to take money out of your pocket in future because it limits your career moves. You can't work longer hours at work to get better results faster. You can't get that promotion because people can't know that they don't think they can rely on you when push comes to shove. Those are some of the things that it gets you thinking. Some people end up, lucrative jobs come up in other places, and someone say that it's too far, it's in Tema, we are in Accra, it means you have to move and go and stay on your own in Tema. Nah, then don't do it. Rather stick with this job that you are having in Accra, or go for this lower paying job. Or you have to go and stay with some auntie, and this auntie is strict, and you are still back to this lack of movement. Meanwhile, you can't get your work done, right? So this family control kind of thing, and also the kind of decisions that the family will make. You can't take this kind of job, or you have to take this kind of job. Your social immobility, they will eventually take money out of your pocket in future, or make you feel so restrictive. You can't even open your mind to possibilities. So yeah, those are two that I would like to start with. There are a few others like paying certain bills, peer pressure, marriage pressure, but those will come in a bit.
Thank you so much, Elikem. Interesting you spoke about family, because yesterday I had the opportunity to train some entrepreneurs, and one issue that came up was one of the ladies mentioned she had to eat into her capital because she had to take care of her father's medical bills, and she's under so much pressure. It's affecting her business. So these things are very, very real for young people today. Danielle.
Hi. Hmm. I think a huge one, if I am to personalize it, is figuring out what I want to do, both career wise and just who I am as a person. It took me a while, but slowly I think you can navigate it down to at least figuring out what you don't want to do. So I think I'm in a place where I'm like, I know I don't want to do a few things. There are some industries I know I don't have the qualification for, I'm not remotely interested in, so I just don't want to do it. And I think a second one would be pressure on yourself. Not necessarily like from family or anything, but like sometimes it feels like, oh my god, I am this age. Granted, I still have a little bit to go to get to 30. But sometimes I'm like, wait, I'm this age. I don't want to wake up and be this, and I don't feel like I've accomplished enough, or I haven't reached a particular level of potential that I should have. So I think figuring out who you are and pressure on yourself are two huge ones that many might encounter. And I think the pressure on yourself can also come from like external factors, as in maybe your mates are driving some kind of car, or even if your mates are driving a car and you don't have one, but you've been working your ass off, excuse my language, for like a while, and it's like, god, when is my breakthrough coming? Because I've been working car no miniska, how will I buy it? Me so me transport no wa miniska me de befa. So there's all those like factors that I think can be a huge one. But for me personally, it has been figuring out who I am, what I would want to do, and pressure on myself to say, okay, I'm this age, by 30, what would I look back and say I have accomplished? And I think another pertinent question is, am I accomplishing it because I want to, or because I'm seeing that others have this, so maybe I should strive for the same thing, even though that may not be what is good for me? So yeah, those are, I guess, the top two I would mention for now.
Okay, great. I mean, it reminds me of my 30th birthday, where I thought it was quite depressing because I felt very unaccomplished. So I totally get you, David. So we'll take Paulina and get back to you. Paulina, so the question is, what are some of the challenges you faced in your 20s, or you see people face in their 20s?
Well, I think that, oh, hello everyone, good evening. I think that in our context, that is in Ghana, um, in for a lot of us in our 20s, yes, we may have finished the uni or the polytechnic and done national service, but even finding jobs is a bit difficult. So, and then when you have found a job, if it is outside of a place where your parents have accommodation, it means that a lot of your um what's the name your income will go into getting accommodation, transportation, and so forth and so on. So, and then again, like Danielle said, sometimes not knowing what you want to do with your life, that one also is a lot of the challenges that young people face. But I think that for us in our context, a lot of times it is finding a job, a stable job that pays well, um when you are done with uni or the polytechnic. Thank you.
Great. I think every example here is reminding me of my my 20s. I remember when I was doing my service and they said they are taking me to Kumasi. I was like, nah, this is not happening. So I totally,
Empower me.
Charlie, I think I even wept cry. They had to change the rules that day.
And Mimi wept. Oh,
And Mimi wept. Yeah, Mimi wept. Charlie. David, I hope your network is better now.
Maybe before you go on,
Yes.
Tomorrow, my friend Ifya is hosting a room on tea or coffee about national service experiences. Come and listen to mine. As for me,
Yeah.
I wept
Wow.
when I got to Kumasi and I saw the vehicle that went to the village I was posted
Chai.
to.
Hey.
I wept and stamped my feet. You know that kind of crying.
Hey,
Not me
that
small
was
crying,
serious.
though.
It's
It
not
was
crying, it is crying and wailing.
you know.
It's really interesting. David.
Yes, interesting national service stories. Maybe I guess I was the dumb one who wanted to go to the Kasana Nankana district. I don't know if it was because I knew I wouldn't be there to do it, or it was just that I was trying to be adventurous. But anyway, so back to the question. I think this question, your answer to it would be based on your own personal experiences, right? And for me, um, my early 20s, I think I was still in college then, trying to figure out or which direction I wanted to go with my life. I had student loans I was trying to figure out how to even pay for college. And then once I got out of college, I had some loans piled up, working multiple jobs, trying to do the best I can to remain financially independent, only because I felt like at that point I had become my own man and I did not want to move back in with my parents because the last thing I wanted during that time was to have to answer to somebody why I'm coming back home at 2 a.m. or where I'm going, why I'm spending the weekend somewhere else and not in my own bed and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I was just trying to make sure that whatever it takes, I am not moving back to my parents' house. Thank you.
Our Shia diaries, right? Anyway, yeah. Elikem, do you want to like or add to? You said you had a whole list of points.
Yes, yes. I always take a chance to talk a lot. So yeah, and it's interesting. David always has a way of reminding us that he's a hopeless romantic in our conversations. Yeah, kasi kasemu, but David will still bring and wash inside for us to know that relationships are important. I just have a question for David. David, the Awashian, was it your mother's house? Your wife's house? That one there, he ran away. Anyway. So,
Eli can be
Masa,
assembled,
Masa,
Eli can be
Masa,
assembled.
Masa, hey, Masa. We said in our 20s, okay? We didn't say
ah,
when we were married. We said in our 20s.
hey, assemble bus, Paulina said, me the
Please
assemble
do.
papa.
In our
Okay,
20s.
David, I hear you. Okay, so we leave what's happened in David's 20s in the 20s. Okay, so a few other issues, right?
No, we are
Speaking
not
of,
leaving it. We are not
please,
leaving it.
then when you meet David on the side, you go and take it up. So,
David, yepa yenti o yepa yenti. Tell us.
anyway, Daniel. So the other things, it's relationship pressure or dating, right? And I think there's you in it's a bit tricky for me to say. That's why I'm stammering a bit, right? Because it may seem like for a lot of ladies, at least when I was in my early 20s, I'm still in my 20s, but early 20s, my mates, a lot of them, ladies out of university, their goal was not really career development. It was about marriage, getting married. And if you were the one dating a lady coming out of university and she's giving you pressure about when are we getting married, Charlie, you start thinking. You can't sustain it because as a man in Ghana, you've been socialized to say that you are the man of the house and you must provide everything. So people, even if someone who wants to think in terms of partnership, they are thinking,
Elikem,
yes,
Elikem,
David.
real quick, you forgot to mention if you don't answer that question, she'll pretend to be pregnant.
Hey, hmm. This table you are shaking, David, the way people have suffered that, right? Yeah, but at least some people have had positive for some guys or some ladies left to them. And the funny thing is, the person who just broke up with you in 3 months' time, you see her, you see her at the all time. You wonder how long did she cause that guy? But anyway, this matter. So yeah, and then it puts a lot of pressure on young men And then you realize that the men in the 30s who have suffered through their 20s and got into their 30s and are well established now are now coming back to take the 20-year-olds, the young, energetic young ladies from the broke young men. It puts a lot of pressure on young men, and some of them end up having bad relationship habits, in the sense that they know that the relationship is not going to last anyway, so they mess around and they keep girls hanging and all that, and all that takes a toll on people. It will take a toll on you in your work environment. You can't be as productive as you want to be, and that's going to hurt your income and your future income. You know, in the 20s, it's not even about current income. It's all about building value for the future, right? So yeah, another thing too is self and peer pressure. Danielle mentioned it and Mimi mentioned it. And it's like, depending on the kind of friends you hang out with, you hear a lot of buy. Buy this, buy that. Oh, you can afford this. Oh, man, especially you work in a financial institution. Oh, get money. You know, buying this, the latest gadgets are out, you want to buy it. Charlie, it's just off. And some people got a gift of an iPhone. Pardon me, but sometimes it's the ladies, right? Some big man or some uncle will give them a gift, or some boyfriend will give them a gift of an iPhone. Now you're on your own and you need an upgrade because your iPhone is 3 years old and starting to get slow and all that. And you can't downgrade to a Huawei, which you can comfortably afford on your NSS allowance if you stay for 2 months. But no, alas, you need an iPhone. So another cost that you have to bear. It's all about these kind of pressure that you see your mates going through. And I hear stories about people, especially in their 20s, and they see why some of my friends are living like this. So why can't I live like that? It's my birthday. I shouldn't get only gift wishes. They want to throw a party because their friends also threw a party. You know, people making bad decisions. Someone, and just digress, right? Someone in her 20s doesn't have a job, was depending on a boyfriend who got tired of her money-seeking antics, broke up with him, and now she's got some sugar daddy or something, gave her a gift of 3,000 cedis. And she had said she didn't finish school. She had wanted to do business. What's she going to use the 3,000 cedis for? Going to rent. My dear, you can go back and live with your parents or live with a friend and use that 3,000 cedis to start a business and use that money to grow a business that will generate income. But no, she says she'll spend the money on going to rent. Why? Because all her friends are doing it, so she should also do it. That kind of peer pressure, that's worrying, you know. We talked about rents, paying bills, contributing to bills at home. And when you start living, if you rented on your own and you start being responsible, you realize that you have to turn off lights. When you are leaving when you have to go to the kitchen to do something for a while, you don't just pause the TV, you turn it off. When you come back, you turn it on again. You know, that kind of thing. You don't leave fans on in the room. It's all these bills just keep adding up, especially hospital bills. Health bills, we take it for granted, but NHIS doesn't really work. And when people fall sick, it's quite expensive and you don't have a choice, you know, else you have to go begging and you really don't want that, you know. And then for those who marry, especially the young ladies, they marry around 24, 25. That means the children pressure gets to them while they are in their 20s, you know. Ideally, it could be something in the 30s, but children pressure and the expenses of having children is also another pressure that people have, you know, and they have to deal with it. But a lot of people think, okay, I'll get married. That's a cost that a lot of people don't even plan, you know, and they go and borrow and go and do a lot of funny financial engineering things to get married. They get that done. Now they don't have much money to live on. Then you have to have children because that's the African way. Immediately you want to have a child, or within 1 year you have a child. Okay, all right, no problem. Thank you for adding on procreating. But now you realize that born pikin no hard. Now money for cocoa. You see, realize that person ain't cheap, you know, and it puts a toll on you. It affects your career. So not saying don't do it. It's just plan it, right? Yeah, we'll get to the solutions soon. Just a few more just to highlight education. You're thinking about your masters or furthering your education. That some people even start thinking about building a house, you know, put some money aside. And yeah, The almighty funny one is the car pressure. It's like peer pressure. Actually, people are riding in nice cars, so you go and ride in a car. You go and take an expensive auto loan, and then, Charlie, there or some car that will keep giving you problems. But yeah, those are a few other challenges that I could think of.
Charlie, Elikem, the table is broken.
Charlie,
No, but
yeah,
let
blue.
me say something. I
Sorry,
think
this marriage pressure there. So true.
Elikem,
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
I have
David.
only one thing to tell you, right? It gets
Uh-huh.
better, okay?
It
It gets
does?
better. So don't worry, it gets better.
Okay, all right.
I mean, it's so interesting because I don't know what it is, but immediately after school, you start thinking about marriage. Then you look at those small boys you were, chasing in school, and then you're like, we cry. I can't see any future with you like that, So it was so relatable. But I mean, as I've grown up, gotten married, have children, please, I always tell young men, unfortunately, the society we live in, there's a lot of pressure when it comes to finances as a man. If you get married to somebody who is, more open-minded, cool, great for you. But the society we are in, there's more pressure on you, the man. In some cases, you have to take care of the woman's family in addition to the woman. So I always tell the man, please, your 20s or whatever, you work hard and make the money. Don't go and take any pressure that you are not ready for. Don't go and take any pressure that then the children, that's what even spoils the matter. So I agree with what you said. Take your time. If some girl is giving you pressure by force, I mean, she can go her way, you can go your way. But women, we also want to get married. We don't want to hit 30.
Let
I remember.
me let me give you some anecdotal research that I have done.
Okay, great.
So in every one of my classes, and I started teaching in 2014. So every year, I teach level 300, 400 semester. In the first lecture, I ask my students what they want to do after school, just so that I can support them if it's making my network available and so forth and so on. Invariably, 90% of the young ladies are thinking about marriage. And then the young men are only thinking about furthering their education and getting a job, that kind of thing. I think that it's a social construct where young women think that, oh, I should marry,
Hi, is it just me?
I should have kids. We give ourselves pressure. Oh, can you hear me?
Okay, I think it's better now. Yes, please
Oh,
continue.
forgive me.
I think we lost
Yes.
you at the point where you said it's a social construct.
Yes. So I think that is a social construction that says that a lady should be married in her 20s, should have children because her biological clock is ticking, that kind of thing. And we give ourselves too much pressure. And I think that in raising young people, that is one of the things we should tell our girls also, that not everybody will marry right after national service, and it's fine. It's fine to wait and, for me, explore, because this is what I say all the time. If you marry at 25, for example, and you are going to live to be 60, just 60, and you marry at 25, that is 35 years of your life seeing the same person. I don't know about other people, but you know how after a while, you are fed up seeing the same person over and over again. I think young women should explore, live, like enjoy life, travel around, work, that kind of thing before they settle down. Personally, I married at 36, and I think it's the best decision of my life, because at that time I knew exactly what I wanted in a man, and the things that will make me fulfilled as a woman. But where we are thinking about biological clock and biological clock and biological clock, you sometimes make a lot of mistakes. Again, I think that young people in Accra, they give themselves too much pressure. I spent most of my 20s in Kumasi, and I don't remember thinking about buying a car or riding in a car or anything like that. I think that in Accra, there's too much pressure for young people. Thank you.
Thank you, Paulina. Packaging, no. Packaging, no. Anyway, talking about marriage, I think for young women, when we think about marriage, we imagine it in a movie, some, tall, dark man who will carry us, I mean, what do you call it? Happily ever after. But the reality is for a woman, as long as you marry and you have kids, it's like you don't have a life of your own. Your your life is for your family, and sometimes you even lose yourself and all that. So I totally agree with you to find time knowing yourself and explore. Otherwise, sometimes you begin to resent your family because you never figured yourself out, or you never found time to enjoy life or figure out who you are, what you like, etc. Yeah, Elihem.
Yes, so I wanted to follow up on what Paulina said and ask Paulina just a question. But first, the comment is, I think I'm really impressed with Paulina getting married at 36. I'm just so impressed, right? But side comment is Paulina, the way Paulina was saying explore, Michelle, Paulina, we easy pen, and I David Musa. She's been around the block.
No, I haven't. My
Okay.
husband is my first boy.
Elihem.
And then the media assembly.
Alekem, the explore that she said, there are so many ways you can take that. There are so many ways you can take that explore word that she said. And I think you took it down the gutter a little bit.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. All right. My bad. We are talking about 20s. 20s, we are quite energetic. So that's where. Anyway. So, right now, a few more comments that sometimes I get the vibe that what you've said is I'm happy it's coming from a woman, and Mimi backing you on this because it's something I advocate for, and people don't get it. I got married early. I got married at 24. I'm a Ghanaian man who got married at 24. Who does that? But I knew why I was doing it. All right. I had my reasons and it fits my personality. It was supposed to meet certain needs. But it wouldn't work for everybody. A lot of people don't have the independence I had at that time. A lot of people were not as crazy. They didn't know their plan for their lives. You have not even figured out yourself. They are going to figure out life with someone else. I figured that out many years before. You get what I'm saying? And this was part of my plan. You get what I'm saying? If very few people would fit my category. And in Ghana, like Mimi was saying, I think Mimi said it earlier, it's a lot of our 20s is about figuring yourself out. And Daniel also mentioned it. If you've not figured yourself out, take your time. And for me, most importantly, I think it's about getting your career on the best footing. Charlie, take your time, get your career on the best footing. And the children, even when you marry, Charlie, enjoy the marriage. If you know what I mean, the gata that David was talking about. Look, we are talking about 20s, all adults here. Let's be real. I'll be candid. Look, enjoy your partner while you don't have to worry about a baby stopping you in the middle of it. You get what I'm saying? Guilt-free pleasure. It's not now that you go and do something with someone, the person will come and guilt trip you because she saw a Bible under the pillow, and now the whole mood spoiled, and then Charlie makes some way. Don't worry about that. Enjoy your time. You get what I'm saying? When the responsibilities will come, you take them on.
And Elikem is confessing a lot of things.
Yeah. So yeah. Now, Pauline, I have a more direct question towards for you. So if you got married at 30, 36, is the biological clock real? Like this pressure that we give women, is it?
No.
Okay, please expand.
Yes. Okay, so the biological clock is real in the sense that as a woman grows, her ability to be more fertile, it reduces. So then it is real in that sense. But for me, my faith in Christ tells me that if Sarah gave birth at 99, then what is a biological clock like, as science has defined it when it comes to what my God can do? So for me, that was um, one of the things that helped me to be patient and to wait for what I really wanted rather than rush into something because everybody is rushing into something. And like Mimi said, when you marry early, you lose yourself really. Even for me, who married in my mid 30s, I still think that there are things that sometimes I want to do that I cannot do. At first, I could just pick up my bag, go where I want to go. Now with two babies, where can you go? Where can you just pick up your bag and go? So yes, there's a biological clock, but I don't think that it's as um scary as we make it sound. Again, I am looking at my experience here in the UK and the ages of people I see who are having their first babies, for example. So I think that for us, the social construct, it works on us too deeply, and we need to break free from some of those social.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Paulina. Thank you, Paulina. Do we have any other challenges we want to tackle? We didn't even talk about in terms of money, that some of the challenges we face. As I said earlier, normally in your 20s, you are either struggling to get a job. When you eventually get one, if you're lucky, you get a good job. But most people get some, jobs they are just managing to manage before till they get something good. And they say it's at this time that you should start investing. You should take advantage of all these years you have. But what you are receiving sometimes is barely enough to meet your basic needs. So sometimes you find out that some people are unable to take advantage of these years, and when they finally figure out themselves out, then responsibilities also grow. So if you are not very disciplined and intentional, you find out that you are not able to do anything very serious during your 20s, when it would have been the best time you know to do a lot of things. For me, as I grew, I realized my 20s, I should have taken more risk. I should have started businesses. I should have explored. Now, when I want to do that, it becomes a lot of calculation because someone has to go to school, someone has to eat, someone has to do. There are lives that are dependent on you, so it becomes it becomes more restrictive. By your 20s, especially if your parents are supporting you, are living at home or something, you can explore, do some business, do this, do that. If you fall, at least you fall in your father's room or your father's house. So those are some of the things that I think that happens to us in our 20s. We may not earn as much to take advantage of investment, but I think it's a good time to also take risk. Okay, I don't know if anyone, Daniel, David, Daniel,
Yeah.
sorry.
So
Let David go ahead.
Okay, David.
I just want to give a little shout out to some people who also had my path in their 20s, in the sense that when I was yesterday or the day before, I was having a conversation with one of my college friends, this American girl, and she was asking me, so of all the schools that I could have gone to, why did I go to the school that I went to? And I told her that, listen, for me, I did not have the luxury of knowing that my tuition was going to get paid for 4 years, or I was going to be able to get loans and all that as an American would do. So when I was applying to college, when I got all my admission letters and stuff, I looked at each and every one, looked at who gave me the most money, who had the lowest tuition. And in the end, I went to the one, I drew a balance between who would give me enough money and who had the lowest tuition, because I knew that at some point in my 4 years, I was maybe pegging it at maybe after the first year or second year. But I knew definitely that at some point in that time, no, I would have to fend for myself. And truly, truly, after my first year where everything was paid for 100%, second year rolls around, I get a little bit of money, and here I am stuck in a foreign country that I had never been to, and having to, for those of you who have paid international students fee in America, you know how much that is. Having to pay all that by myself. So starting my early 20s till I got out of college and all that, I was just too busy trying to survive myself to the point where all this, money conversation that we have on this platform, having to be very good with money and all that stuff, it wasn't even my concern. It was just to have enough money so that my checking account balance was in the positive and not in the negative. I remember one time I fell. I got laid off for my job for some weird reason, but one of the options was to move in with my dad, and I was like, no chance in hell. I was picking up odd jobs here and there, McDonald's, whatever, what any kind of job I could do, just so that I would not have to move in with my parents. So for some of us, it was more so we're in a survival mode. So we weren't even thinking about, yeah, the whole, being money conscious and all that stuff came in later, even though I got the information in my 20s. But then actually implementing it to the point where it made sense and it was working for me came very, very late in the 20s to early 30s. So, yeah, for those people too, we are there. Shout out to you guys. Thank you.
Shout out to you.
Wabrim, Papana Brim.
Daniel, Elikem, do you want to say something, or Daniel?
Oh no.
Um, wait, when did you move to the US? I'm trying to understand
Wait, wait,
why.
was that a question for me?
Yeah, that was a question for you. I want to understand.
Was it how old was I when I moved to the US?
Yep,
I came right after sixth form. So probably
about
like 18, 19 ish.
okay, okay. Well,
And by the way, when I came, I had a sister who was in Louisiana, and that was the only family I had here. So I actually, the day before I came, I called the school and was able to find somebody to tell them that, hey, please have somebody come meet me at the airport and take me to my campus because I have no idea where I'm coming. I've never been there, all that stuff. And I made that arrangement. So the guy picked me up from the airport straight to my dormitory. And actually, we did a quick stop by at, I think it was a Walmart. I bought some bed sheets, some few things, and then he just went and dumped me in my dorm, and that was it.
oh wow. Um, I left for the US when I was 18, but I am on the opposite end of David's story. I had all the advice. I had basically had the path charted for me. Like my siblings did my college applications. All I did was write the SATs and get everything together. And I basically wrote every exam. I wrote WASI, SATs, GCSE, O levels around the same time. Like all of 2013, all I did was write exams. So for me, I'd say a big challenge was both allowing myself to make mistakes but also knowing which mistakes not to make. So between 18 and about, I guess I'm what, 26 now. I look back and I'm like, oh my god, there's so many mistakes I could have avoided. So that's one. When it comes to like finances, my college tuition was partly scholarship and partly my family supporting me for undergrad. When I got to grad school, then I understood the real money struggle because I had saved up money to pay for some of it with my dad supporting me outside of the scholarship I got per semester. So, money wise, I think when it comes to finances in your 20s, it is one, having the knowledge to know that this is a pivotal time of your life, and if you set yourself up properly, you will do well, or at least you'll be okay 30s and beyond. So yes, having the knowledge is one. um having access to it is one, which is why it's good that we have rooms like this and we encourage more people to listen. And then I think the most key portion of having the knowledge is applying it, which is where I'd say for me, I made mistakes that I didn't realize later would become mistakes. I'm like, wait, if I knew this better, I would save more money. Or if I knew this better, I'd buy less clothes. Or I'd spend less on this or spend less on that. So when it comes to finances, I think it's acquiring that knowledge to know that you should start saving and investing in your 20s, because it will benefit you. It should be less chilling, less clubbing, less partying, less the newest fashion over clothes, less all of that. And how can I set up myself for success 30s and beyond? Because I think that um, if you do it right, well, granted everybody's timeline will be different. 20 to 30 is a good time to say, okay, this is who I am. I'm solid now. So by 30, I know I like this, I don't like this. And financially, I'm in this place. So if I'm ready to have a kid, I can. If I don't want to, that's fine. I can still afford to say, oh, I want to move out of my parents. So I want to do this, I want to do that. And I think another huge one that I've encountered is unexpected expenses popping up. I guess that is common in um, all age brackets, but I think your 20s is probably a key one. I don't know if
Danielle,
that.
is called adulting.
Oh
Adulting.
yeah, it's called adult. I know. I'm just saying that
In
I
fact,
found that 20s gives you the harsh reality of, oh, okay, your phone got spoiled, so you are going to need to either fix it or find a new one. So yeah, it gives you that wake up call that, wait, mommy and daddy will not fix it for you. So yeah, those are like my challenges. I'd say for me it was making mistakes, but knowing which ones to make and which ones to avoid, and then just charting and finding the knowledge to say, here's my 20s and let me make the best out of it, especially financially. Okay, I haven't been ranting. Mapon.
Oh, good, great. What you said was great because I think it's something that we didn't cover. It's a good time to acquire knowledge and build habits, even if you are saving or setting aside one CD, and that is what you can afford. It's a good time to build habits so that eventually, when the plenty comes, you would have already built those habits. So, good point there, Elikem.
yeah, I just wanted to hammer on support Danielle on the thing that about something will always come up. See, something will always come up. The car will refuse to start. The battery will start doing chukru chukru. I see one time a month that I had budgeted, and I said, this month I can actually save. Damn, I knocked a dog down. You broke the bumper small. I said, this bumper will not be fixed. You will survive the next few years. It is small. No one will notice it. I said, I won't fix that thing because this month had to go perfect. First month that nothing was coming up for me to spend on. And then this dog had to jump in front of my car and then spoil my bumper. The dog woke up and walked away anyway. But yeah.
It reminds me of my cracked screen. How I've decided not to fix it till later. Maybe.
Oh, baby, your new car.
No, my cracked
Imagine.
screen. My office phone fell out of my bag,
Oh.
and it's cracked. And I'm afraid the HR will see it and talk, but I think I'll hide it away from here till I'm able to figure it out.
And you are just choking yourself on
I know,
a
right? Let me
live on Clubhouse as we are recording, and we're putting it up on YouTube. So everyone should just go and follow Money Convos GH on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. And hopefully, and just don't tweet at or mention the HR of Access Pension Fund. Oh, wait, we didn't know where you work. Sorry, Mimi, I'm sorry.
You're terrible, you know
I'll
that.
mind you. Mind you. Any- Anyway,
Um,
so
something
yes,
that you said, which you also mentioned, that I want to reiterate.
sure, go ahead.
I'm sure I have mentioned here that I learned about investing and saving money whilst in school, in the uni, that is. Um, and I think that's a very good habit to learn, so that even no matter how small the amount of income you have in your 20s, when you have cultivated the habit of saving, of investing, then it becomes part and parcel of you. I remember I've shared here that it was some investment I did with Data Bank whilst in uni. That's what helped me through national service. And because I'd acquired that habit, whatever small amount of money I made in my 20s, I put some aside because I knew a rainy day would come. So when you have acquired, and for me, that is why I think that financial literacy is so important, to teach our young people very early in life to save, to invest. That way, when they get to that point where they have a bigger income, the habit has already been formed. So then you can overcome a lot of the financial challenges that you face. Thank you.
Thank you, Paulina. Thank you so much. Financial literacy is definitely important, and it's something we should keep on talking about. It reminds me, a month or two ago, I met a lady, quite a very successful lady, in Ghana in the arts sector, and she was just telling me how she wished she had known all I was talking about, because we had done some coaching. I was doing some coaching, financial coaching for her. She was just talking about how if she had known this earlier, her life would have been different, because she's come by a lot of money, but because she didn't have the skill, she doesn't really have much to show for it, even though she's in her 40s. So this is very important. Even though money may not be flowing like water in your 20s, it's a very good time to acquire the knowledge and start implementing it. We don't want to waste too much time today, so we want to dive into what can we do, how do we overcome these challenges. We have family to deal with, we have little income, some unemployment, how marriage pressure, the lady is just worrying you, marry me or it's over. How do we deal with some of these pressures in our 20s? How do we position ourselves to be better? That's what we want to talk about. But before we do that, I'd like to reset the room. We have been talking about conquering challenges of your 20s. We've mentioned what those challenges are. Very interesting discussion. We've spoken about some tables were seriously, destroyed, and some of them I was sitting on it. So we've spoken about family pressure, pressure from friends, unemployment, you finding yourself, your own pressure from yourself, and how all these things are challenges for people in their 20. And though you're finished school, and sometimes people expect that you should have figured out yourself, those are very trying times. And we are going forward to discuss, what do we do? A lot of us have passed that 20 stage, unfortunately, even though I'm told I look like I'm 18. Unfortunately, I'm older. So how do we overcome that stage so that our 30s will be better, our 40s will be better, our 50s will be better? Because the thing is that if you don't build a solid foundation, it has sometimes has a rippling effect. So how do we overcome these challenges? Elikem?
Wonderful, wonderful. Let me start my laundry list. Um, I'll keep it simple. I think the first thing I want to start with is the opposite number for what Paulina has said. The social constructs that makes young ladies think that they must get married right after university or as soon as possible. Let me talk to the guys. Charlie, guys, hang in there. The thing is, you have to have a plan. Okay, have a plan. A lot of guys are working out, they don't know what to start figuring it out, okay? But if you don't have a plan, be transparent. Don't string a lady along when you don't have a plan. Yeah, you leave this fine girl, you will get another one who will understand very soon. And in the absence of that, you can focus more on your career, okay? Let her go and let her find somebody who will have her time. And then you two can focus on your career and be transparent. For all you know, maybe the lady just wants to know your plans and tell her that, okay, this is my plan. I'll work for 2 years. I'll go and do my master's. Then I'll come back. Then I'll see if I have a good job. Then I'll see what's going on. Especially if she's your mate, you say, okay, fine. Well, while you're doing that, I'll also go and do mine. I'll also be doing this. I'll also be doing that. Then we all meet. Then in 4 years' time, by that time, we would have worked on our relationship well enough. In 3-4 years' time, it will be good enough for us to settle down into a marriage. Just let the person know. If the person is not down with it, remember, Charlie, if your life partner is not down with your plan, it's something that you should really, really be thinking about, that kind of relationship, especially if you can't convince the person. You really need to be thinking about it, and save yourself all that drama and heartbreak and the money that you've been pressing on someone else. Next step, fine, the relationship gets to that point and you have to get married. You are 27, 28, you've been working for 3-4 years. My friend, if you can't afford a 200,000 CD wedding, you can't afford it. Don't go and take loan. Don't go and use your providence fund. No. Know what you can afford. If you are dating, it may not be a wedding, but if you are dating somebody and the relationship is becoming too expensive, my brother, Charlie, you can't, there are other expenses coming up. Do you really want a partner that the rest of your life, you just be spending so much money to keep the person happy, especially money you can't afford? Like if you are rich, there are some people who are rich, fine, that's okay. But if you can't afford it, I'm talking about affording. You see, I'm not mentioning any exact number. I'm not saying 1,000 CDs a month. I'm not saying 200 CDs a month. It's about you. Know what you can afford. All right. And before you know what you can afford, now this segue into another point. I think having a budget is important. Have a budget and then save some part. No matter how much you earn, if it's 1,000 national service, 400 and I think now it's 590 something or so. Let's say around it to 600 cities government. If it's 600 cities you are taking, you there, imagine they pay you 500. Okay, imagine they pay you 500 and hide the 100 cities away. All right. And if you are fortunate, for us, those of us who are a little fortunate, when I was doing my national service, it's something my mother did for me. It's a very good. She did for my sister 4 years before, and she did it for me when it was my time. Kept giving me pocket money during my national service, said I should save that money. And they helped build a savings habit. Some of us are still living with our parents, we're living with our parents or still be living with our parents. I see some students, shout outs to Douglas, very amazing guy. Some of you may be living with your parents during your national service and a few years into your work. Save some money. You don't have to pay rent. Save that money. Save, okay. Save because you will need that money very soon. When it's time to move out and they say to pay 2 years advance, that large chunk of money, this is where you come and take it from. When I saved, that money is what I used to write my Ghana Stock Exchange exam, and that got me licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission, and it made my employment very easy to do it because at the time, the SEC got serious about the license. If the companies were being fined for employees who didn't have a license, and it was an easy thing for me because I've already been certified in my exams by the time national service was over. You get what I'm saying? You're able to save down the line. You can afford things you will need. Okay, so that's I think the last thing I want to say. I'm sure other points will be mentioned by other people. Oh wait, last 2 things. Family, Charlie. Sometimes have a span. Okay, I know family is very important, but it all stems from being independent. And it starts from, you're in school, learn hard. Seek a very good job. Be a valuable professional. And all these things come from learning hard and working hard. You can't be an average person getting B's and C's and expect that you'll get the best of jobs that will be so high paid. You be a straight A student and come and complain that the jobs no day Ghana. Fine, your case will sound better. Okay, do that. Be a very valuable person. Let people want to pay you good money for your service. And in fact, that's in the 20s, it's not even about how much they pay. It's just about having a job, because Ghana had just secure a job. For starters, if you can secure the best in the big four accounting firms, if that's your field, the best engineering companies or whatever, that's great, right? But value, have some value. You learn to get that value, and when you have that kind of income, it's easier to say no to your family, because you know that even if they start depriving you of certain things, you can afford it on your own. You're not asking for pocket money. Someone doesn't feel like, oh, he cry, he's coming close to me, he's come to ask me for something. You know that thing when you're at home and I'm sure people in their 20s have felt to Charlie, you're broken every time I come to ask for money. When your father is not in a good mood, then you use it, and then they are using it to coerce you and make you do this, do that. You will not be at peace, okay? So build yourself financially, and it will help you conquer some of the family pressures, all right? And last thing, I know they said don't buy fancy things in your 20s and all. Me, I'll say party hard, but ball on a budget. When once a month or once every 2 months, yeah, we'll go to the honeysuckles, we'll go to Luna Bar, we'll go to Carbon, we'll go to Twist. Those places will jam. Now, Twist is just Christmas time. We'll go to those big places once in a long while. You get what I'm saying? And this is even in my late 20s. Even still at this time, I have the Virgin City Park where I can go and spend only 20 cedis and have a good time, as opposed to somewhere else that we'll go and in total we spend 1,000, more than 1,000. Yeah, 2,000, a group of people, of course. Those kind of things you do with a group of people. But I'm saying, enjoy yourself, okay? But ball on a budget. There are places you can afford. Go there. Purple Pap Usu. You can get your nice drink. Go there. All right? Don't go to the fancy places because that's what you see on social media. No. On your budget, okay? Thank you for the words of sweet. Anyway, so that's my piece.
Thank you. If you don't like bowling like some of us, stay at home. That's also
And
fine.
save that money. Yes, save that money. Stay at home and save that money. Maybe just to chip in. I look at my wife's budget and mine, and I go like, see, life is easier for you because you don't have to go out and socialize. You don't have to spend money on entertainment. I have an entertainment line in my budget. You don't need it. I'll find
But
out.
nobody has to do any of those things.
I'm a
Well,
social animal. I need it. I have to go out
okay.
and meet people. Hey, the body will be. David, after a hard week's work, Friday night, I'm sitting there doing what? I have to get that stress out of my body. That's my makeup. Of course, you could say that. I get you when you say you don't have to, but it will do something to my psyche. Like I'll get down. I'll not have enough energy to work harder. That's how I usually it.
So for me, it's very simple, right? And I just use my own background and my own experiences as for my answer. Societal pressure, family pressure, all those things are very, very real, right? Let's take societal pressure for instance. When you're out there hanging out with your friends, okay, this one got a ride, this one got a ride, you don't have one. So you feel the need to go have one. Guess what? When you come home, you're coming to your home, to your own personal situation. So know the situation that you're in, and I know it's easier said than done, but don't let societal pressure push you to do anything that you're not ready for. Okay, work on yourself. For me, as somebody who has been dumped once before because the we had discussed the marriage and it wasn't happening quick enough. Okay, listen, all of that can wait. Once you are ready and you are very well prepared, you can finding somebody. If you're a woman, finding a man to marry you, it will come quick. If you're a man, the same thing, it will come quick. But work on yourself. Make sure that you are making the right moves to put yourself in a better position going forward. Whether it's um, you're straight out of college doing some kind of internship, to at least get your foot in the door for a big company or whatever, so that you can eventually get that job, whether it is, learning a trade if school is not your thing, whether whatever it is, right? Work on yourself, better yourself to position you in a better place, to make you, if anything, uh, more, if anything, admirable, whether it's for your job or for somebody who's going to be your life partner and all those things. Once you do that, the rest it will be much, much easier to take care of all of the rest. So for me, that's it's as simple as that. Thank you.
More like
Thank you.
seek ye first the kingdom of what David just said, and the rest will follow.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you so much. Paulina.
Well, I agree totally with David. I think that in your 20s, it's a good time to find yourself. So, personally, in my 20s, I worked hard. I in my 20s, and maybe even in my early 30s, before I had children, I've always worked two jobs. Um, I did my masters in my 20s as well. So, again, that's why I say explore. Um, do all the things that you enjoy doing, and if you can, if you have the opportunity to work hard and save enough for the future, I think that it is so important, because a time will come where you may not have the luxury of strength, or even if it's not strength, like Mimi mentioned, at some point when you have children, there are some things that you cannot do. So at that point, you have saved for a rainy day, and that comes in handy for you. But more importantly, I think that do not put pressure on yourself. Anything that is worth having, it will come in its own time. At the right time, it will come. I think that for a lot of young people, they put too much pressure on themselves. I have to do this thing by this age, I have to do that by that age. It's good to plan, to set goals, etc., etc., but don't do it so that it is because you are competing with other people. No, do it because this is what you believe you can achieve at a certain point in your life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paulina. Kelly is here. Kelly, do you have something to add to what we've said so far?
Hi, everyone. This is my first time joining this group, and I must say, I'm impressed with the conversation ongoing so far. I just want to agree with all the previous speakers, especially what Paulina said. You don't need to put pressure on yourself. Life comes with us as each of the challenge we take, and whatever that comes at us, we will definitely be able to do it. And what Elikem said about savings during his national service, I think is a very good thing. Personally, I have a lot of testimonies around that. Funny enough, most of us are quite fortunate living with our parents, so we end up getting pocket money while I was doing national service. I advise anybody doing national service or who is yet to do national service now not to relent on that. There are a lot of savings and investment accounts. We have the Stanlib investment, you have the EDC, you have the data bank investment. I advise every national service to take advantage of those. Don't just open a savings account, but open an investment account, a mutual fund, a collective investment scheme, and each and every day, any money you get, it's a CD. So I advise everyone to save. It's not every time you go hanging out and chilling. Even if you want to chill, plan towards that. You need to plan and save towards the chilling. And trust me, after service in your mid-20s or your late 20s, you're going to reap the benefits of savings from national service right through to you get a good job. There's a little bit I want to add to that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And some of these investments take as little as 10 CDs, 20 CDs. So it's something everyone can do. Danielle.
Yes, I agree with everything everyone has said. The little bit I will add is expand your network. Like, make friends who are in different circles. Have a lawyer friend. Have a accountant friend. Like, don't always mingle with, oh, just the people at my job and we all do the same thing. Expand your circle. Learn and meet different people from all over the place, be it at church, be it at work, be it your Friday nights that you are eating kelewele and kiba with your friends. Expand your circle. And what was I going to say? Push yourself. Like, it's easy to feel like, oh my god, I'm tired and I have all these goals to accomplish, so I just want to sleep. No, wake up at 5 if you need to, just so that you can finish everything you need to do. Have a to-do list and accomplish it. um yeah, wake up earlier. I think waking up early is key. As long as you can finish everything you need to do, then you can sleep the rest of the evening or watch Netflix or do whatever you want to do, but push yourself. And make sure that you get some rest as well, because in as much as it's good to work hard, please don't go and come and kill yourself, I beg. That's all I'd say.
Thank you so much, Danielle. I trust that whatever we said is just not for us, because some of us are not 20, but we can talk to, our friends and our family, people who are younger, so that they can take, very good steps and make sure their tomorrow is better. For me, I mean, I've been 20 before and now I'm not, unfortunately. and
Oh,
And one thing I can guarantee any of you is that the societal pressure never ends. The societal pressure never ends. So I got married early. So I think I didn't have when would you get married? I skipped that one. But when would you have kids? I had a first one boy. When would you have the second one? I had a second one boy. Now you're talking about girl and sister. Maybe my break. So it never ends.
Maybe other girl nearby. Me do other girl nearby. Definitely.
I rebuke such social pressure.
Ellie Kem, we are coming to start your own pressure. Relax.
Yes,
We are coming
I'm
to start
coming
your
to
own
give you
pressure.
my
The enjoyment
response.
is too much.
I
You
will
have
give you my
enjoyed enough.
response.
Please.
And then sometimes you are pressured, by this time as a family in your 30s, you should have two cars, you should be living here, you should be living there. And all those pressures can cause you to take certain decisions that are not helpful for your family. It's not by force that you should have two cars. I have a friend, she is 38, and she and her husband share one car, but they have a plan. They have a serious plan. But when you see them from afar, you think they are broke, but they are not broke. That one I know. They are not broke. They just have a plan and they are sticking to their plan. So we should be very careful about societal pressure. And the thing is that once you give birth to the girl, there's something else that will replace it. Something else will definitely replace it.
Societal pressure, they to kill us. So,
I know, right? Another thing, be careful of trends. Right now, because of social media, IG, you see a lot of trends going on. Please, if it's your birthday and you can't do photo shoot, take your phone, call somebody, try picture nibi. It is not by force.
call me. I'll come and do for you.
It is not by force. You are able to save so much. Maybe the year you were able to save 3,000. Then you carry all and go and do photo shoot on your birthday. Come and put it on Instagram. We will like it. But now you are broke. To what end? So let's be careful of trends. By all means, if you have the money, why not? You can do a pre-wedding, post-wedding, within wedding, whatever it is. But if you don't, it's not by force. There's no problem with going to sign in the court. There is no problem. Don't let anybody tell you how you should do things, because the reality is, after all they've come to eat all your jollof, that some people will have the right to come and tell you the jollof they didn't get some or it was bent. After they've done all that, it is you and your family, and you have to figure it out. So it is not worth it. By all means, if you have the money, blow it. I mean, life is lived once, so blow it. But if you don't, please, and especially for the ladies, because that story I read on Twitter, I just hope it's not true that a guy had to spend all that money on a Kempinski wedding. Especially for the ladies, let's stop giving pressure.
Is it the
Ajua,
200,000 CD one?
yes.
Oh, it's
It
real.
was
It's
very
real.
sad.
It's real.
It's
It's real.
real.
Oh,
Are you
sister.
serious?
Oh,
Hmm.
this is
It was
one of many stories.
so I mean, you want a Kempinski wedding. Okay, go and sign at Accra and go to Kempinski, you and your spouse. It's there, take pictures. And no. But all these pressures from IG, all of them are, it's a lot of pressure, and it's really standing in our way of achieving things that are important to us, because now we are living somebody else's dream, not ours. So it's something that you have to be very careful of.
Mimi, quick
Maybe
So can
question.
I add something?
Quick question,
yes.
Mimi.
Okay, David first, then Paulina.
So I've scheduled a crepe challenge. Should I cancel it? Because I want to put it on IG. Should I cancel it?
Oh, but you don't lose any money, you just break your back maybe. So
That thing is the
yeah.
dumbest. Anyway, keep go ahead. Go ahead. That was just a joke, by the way.
Oh, no problem, Paulina.
Yeah, so for me, I think it comes down to um that whole thing about not knowing yourself, and thinking that everybody is doing it, so I have to also do it. When I got married, I just done two international consultancies. I just finished two international consultancies that year, the year before. I married in February, but I did a cocktail because honestly, I didn't think it was wise to blow my hard-earned cash on a wedding for people to come and eat. Rather, we went for a honeymoon that we would enjoy ourselves, like really, really enjoy ourselves.
But hope
I
you,
think that,
but
like you
hope
are
you.
saying, early kept yourself, but like you're saying, um, the for a lot of young and especially young ladies now, it's more about the wedding than the marriage, and the wedding trending on IG. I've heard that now people even hire people in addition to the photographer, the videographer, they hire somebody who will come and do IG live for them so that what? People you don't know. Why do you want to impress them? And then you go home and you have nothing. Like, why do we live our lives like that? I think we really, a lot of young people need to reset their brains and understand that a lot of things that you even see on social media, they're not true. You were not there. You didn't see what exactly happened. So don't live your life for other people. Don't let it be because I want people to see me in a certain light. No, live your life. Be your authentic self. Live such that if you die today, the people who were close to you and knew you, they would say that this person lived the life that they were supposed to live. Thank you.
Thank you, Paulina. And for me, it's unfortunate that some of these big weddings are, paid for by parents, and you'll be looking, from afar, and saving. Your saving is not adding up. Clear all your account, go and take your loan just to do something, the same thing that somebody's parent who has worked for so long and is just using some of the small interest on his account to sort out. And we all know that money issues cause serious problems in marriage. Marriage itself now is stress that then you are going to add more more problems. So it's very important that we take some of these things. If you go and sign, yes, they may laugh at you, they may insult you, but trust me, if you know where you are going, like Paulina said, like that, my friend, that reminds me, my friend who is 38 years. I mean, we all saw her as a bougie person. She had this wedding, 50 people, meat pie and drink, everybody gone. Eh? What is happening? But this girl, after that, they had bought their house and they moved in. You do shepe, when you finish, you go and live in some house that is not, does not reflect the wedding you just had, or to whose, you know, and then they'll come and tell you they didn't get some of their jollof. That's the response I got from my wedding. So I beg.
But Mimi, don't discount the Instagram likes though. You know, Instagram and whatnot likes. The likes is awesome. You know, we need
Instagram
the
Nah,
is
nah,
likes.
there.
nah, nah.
No, but when
Something
you are
is
done
doing
with
you.
the
David,
wedding,
David,
Somebody
David.
with Instagram
Yeah.
has yeah, Instagram, yeah, Instagram Juju Ama David. Serious. Something is
No,
going
oh,
man,
on.
the
but
likes,
that
yo.
Can you
no,
hear
but
the way
David,
David's voice
seriously,
is animated?
sometimes the Instagram no is strategy. After signing in Accra, the court there, you just go to Kempinski in front. Now I'm going to try pictures. You post it on Instagram. You know, yesterday when I did a training for some group of entrepreneurs, I was talking about societal pressure, and I was talking about how I'd been pressured myself to do something for my kids. And the person said, yeah, she's gone through the same. In fact, she was paying taekwondo for her kids, 2 boys, 800 Ghana cedis, and it was too much for her, so she had to stop. She has stopped though, but she said she's been posting the pictures and people have been giving her fans, oh, you are such a good mother. Then she has more of the pictures, so she's been posting them. So imagine you at the other side. Hey, you'll be looking at, hey, she's doing this, and how about me? Meanwhile, the girl has stopped long time ago. So some of the things that we are seeing is not a reflection of what is on the ground.
This one is apostle. This one is when the apostle you.
I think we've had a great discussion here. If you have, if anybody has any closing remarks, let's add it and let's quickly close. We have 5 minutes more. So if anyone wants to make any closing remarks for this particular topic here, Paulina.
Well, let me say that your 20s is also a good time to enjoy life. So enjoy life, but then do it responsibly. So anything that will give you pleasure, please learn as much as you can, save as much as you can, but overall live. I think it's one of the things that a lot of us do not do also. Like, we don't live, we don't enjoy life. And by enjoying life, you don't necessarily have to be like Elikem, who hops from one what's the name to the other, one club to the other. Not necessarily, but you can travel around, like see new places, that kind of thing. I think it's so important. Make memories. That's what I mean. Make memories and enjoy yourself. Everything will work out also. So don't worry too much in your 20s. Things eventually work out.
Good night, and thank you so much for that. Let's take risks. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's enjoy our 20s. One day your knees will be hurting, so if you have to jump. Final comments.
Let me, if I may just insert something before we hear from David. Just a reminder, this was a recorded session, and we have these conversations every Thursday. So tune in at Thursday, 7 p.m. We will share this recording on YouTube and a podcast medium, so that we can eternalize these conversations and always come back to it. So if you know any friends who missed it, we will share the links on my WhatsApp and on Twitter. Money Convos GH is the handle on Twitter, also on Instagram, and very soon Facebook. Or you can send us an email at moneyconvosgh. And if these conversations we've been having is moving you to think about taking your finances more seriously, hit any of us up on stage. Myself, Elikem, Danielle, Mimi, Papan, that's David, Paulina, and we'll direct you to how to do our one-on-one coaching, which is free for now, but we walk you through your financial goals all the way to getting a budget. And it's really about the actions. Here we are talking about things you can do, but there we'll hold your hands and actually do those things. So just to let you know, and tune in, share with your friends, and follow us on social media. Okay, great. David?
Oh, I was just going to say that if your level of splurging is going to Auntie Memuna for some white chair, please, let's do that. I'll join you there. And stop worrying about Elikem, who has to go to Kimpeski or whatever that place is called for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let him enjoy his. We too will enjoy ours at Auntie Memuna's Wache. Thank you.
Nah. Right now, I feel like if these are the closing comments, I have to exonerate myself before your look. I was broke in university.
Elikem, you have deep pockets. That's it.
No.
Don't worry about it. Don't be ashamed of your deep pockets.
No, I'm in my 20s. Let me clarify something. So, no, for the young ones, for the early 20s.
Your taste buds have
Douglas
advanced.
and Co. Yes, but my taste buds only get tickled maybe once a month or once every 2 months for the more expensive ones. I like the Virgin City pub place where a group of 5 boys will go and sit at one place, we drink, and then everybody 20 Ghana walk away. The same group of 5 boys, if we go to the expensive places, thousands of cities. Those ones, once a quarter or once a year, those ones are there. But like Paulina said, Charlie, I encourage people, whatever is your moves you. Me, it's hard for me to go and sit down somewhere and say, oh, I'm just having coffee with someone or having a meal with. You must be a very special person for me. Because when I'm going out, solo kunkwa, that's my own, So yes, if whatever you enjoy doing, if you like going to look at art and oh my God, this brings out the thought process of the artist and all, do it. Maybe I don't do that, but yeah, do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It has been a very great and insightful discussion, but it doesn't end here. If you, like Elikem said, if you need financial coaching, it's something we're actively doing a number of people have been touched by it. So kindly reach out to any one of us, and also remember to join us next week. Next week we will be dealing with those of us in the 30s and the pressure we face. So if you want to join, or if you think somebody else can benefit from this, rope us in, and let's have this discussion. Let's all go back and implement these actions so that our lives will be better. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a lovely evening.